Drum roll, please. My final Serie A predictions. I'll be real, I love these videos. I love these videos. I love putting my reputation, my name on the line. And don't get me wrong, I get so many stuff wrong, but it is what it is. Let's just say in this video, we will be discussing, in my opinion, I feel like I've watched every single team now enough. I know them well enough. I know their strengths. I know their weaknesses. And I feel like it's only right for me to predict the future. You know what I mean? Like predict how the league table will look come May. Who will win? Who will be in the top four? Who will miss out on Champions League football? We will react to my Serie A predictions from May, which is about 4 or 5 months ago. Where did I get it wrong? Where did I get it wrong? And how I think the Serie A season will end, because we can safely say this time next week, every single team in the Serie A would have approached the halfway line, which is they've played 19 games. Of course, next week we do have the Bolognas, the Napolis, the Inters, the Milan playing their games in hand because of the Supercoppa. So you could see Milan will play Como, very tough. Inter, Lecce, I'm expecting a 4-5-0 spanking. Napoli against Parma, you never know what you're getting from Napoli, to be honest. And then you've got Verona against Bologna, which I'm expecting to be more of a routine win for Bologna. So this time next week, every team has played minimum 19 games, the halfway point of the season. Let's get into it. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And as you guys can see, we've gone back to the old school look because a lot of you guys didn't like the new layouts. See how much money I paid for those layouts. But don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. As they say, money comes and goes. In my case, it just goes. It doesn't come. But anyways, let's get into the video. Let's start off with like my Serie A predictions in August. Even though, with all due respect, I'm only going to focus on like the top 5. Like that's where it's most juicy. I want to speak on Fiorentina very briefly, but let's just start off with the top 5. These are my Serie A predictions from August. I know they're a little bit embarrassing. Like, you know what? I'm actually proud of those. Yeah, why am I embarrassed, bro? I'm actually proud of those. I feel like I've gotten a lot of them right. Let's get started. I had Roma in 5th. If we look at the Serie A table, Roma are 5th. So in case you didn't know, my name is Haj. It's not really my government name, but my government name also begins with the letter H. And the funny thing is, across town, they call me Harry Potter. You know what I mean? H, H, H. I got it spot on with Roma. I'll be honest with you guys. I've predicted them 5th. They're currently 5th. Where will they finish? I'll tell you guys that later on. So that's Roma. I had Inter 4th. I think that's the most embarrassing one, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, the only reason why I had them 4th, I even said it in the video, I was so certain Kivu would be sacked by Halloween. I was so certain Kivu would be sacked by Halloween. Funnily enough, as they like to say in the UK, sometimes life serves you a humble pie. And let's just say I had that pie with custard. Inter sit top of the league. I think Kivu's done great. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I am for somebody that was relatively ignorant to Kivu, I have become a massive advocate of him. Like, even if for whatever reason it doesn't work out at Inter, he was to be sacked, whether it's next season, the season after, I think he's a coach where at the moment I'll always speak of him highly because I really like what he's done. Like, in terms of, I think tactically, he's so underrated and not many people speak about it. Like, I'll be real, I feel like a genius, you know, because like a week ago, Inter played and towards the end of the game, they went 4-4-2. Bro, 2 months ago, I made a video on Inter going 4-4-2 in the second half of a Champions League game. And it's like, everybody's beginning to catch on to the wisdom. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think he's done a great job. I'll be honest. I think he's done a great job. So let's just say that's the first stinker that I had by having Inter 4th. I had Juve 3rd. I predicted them. Juve at the moment sit 4th. So I'm a little bit close. I am a little bit close. If Juve had beaten Lecce, they would have been 3rd. So on another day, I'm right. I had Milan 2nd, funnily enough. And if we look at the Serie A table, Milan are 2nd. Bro, I told you guys. Harry Potter, bro. I told you guys. And then in 1st place, I had Napoli. And Napoli at the moment currently sit 3rd. I don't think there's any way in hell that they finish 1st. I haven't been too impressed by them, I'll be honest. And I know this is going to be, like, let's just say, more damage to my reputation around the city of Naples, because I know Napoli fans don't like me because I don't cover their team, even though I really want to. But I haven't been impressed, I'll be honest. I haven't been impressed. Let's get started. The second half of the season, I like to rename it the business end of the season. It's a bit more dramatic, see what I mean? it's just, I'll be real. I think every game is 1,000 times more important. There's a lot of stuff that have to be taken into consideration. The Champions League, we approach the knockout stages. Some teams might have to go to some difficult grounds. Second half of the season is the most exciting part of a football season because everything is 1,000 times more magnified. For example, second half of the season, every team knows what it's playing for, albeit relegation. So these guys are fighting for their lives. These guys are fighting for every single point. Fighting for Conference League. They want to make history. They're fighting for every single point. Fighting for a European position. Fighting for the league, but also having to take into consideration on Wednesday night, you might have to go to Munich. You might have to go to Dortmund. All of these things play a massive part in the second half of the season. So I really want to look at these 5 teams and who they're playing in the second half of the season, the business end of the season. Roma have to go to Napoli and Inter. It's tough. Napoli have to go to Inter and Juve. Very tough. Juve have got to go to Inter, Milan, and Roma. Tough. Like, they've got the 3 most difficult away games. I feel like all of the other teams have either got 2 or 1. Inter, they don't even really have to go anywhere. Like, they have to go to the San Siro to play Milan. Of course, there's a split when it comes to, like, the seat allocation. It will feel like an away game. But my point is, they've already gotten Juve out of the way. They've already gotten Napoli out of the way. They've already gotten Roma out of the way. It's just Milan. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Comos, to the Bolognas. No, not at all. But I feel like some games are far more difficult when you take in mind, like, the atmosphere, the hostility. Inter have gotten all of the big games out of the way in the first half of the season. And the reason why they sit top of the league, of course, there's the whole question mark over Kivu losing the big games and the whole element of mentality around the squad. Inter have made sure, okay, we've dropped points in the big games. We will win the small games. We will win the small games. When you look at Inter, besides Udinese on the second game week of Serie A, they have won every single small game, albeit Torino, Genoa, Lecce, Cagliari, whoever was thrown at them, home or away, they have won. Como, bro, they destroyed Como. That's why I look at Inter and I say, you know what it is? You guys have proven to everybody what needs to be done in order to mount a title challenge, which is, for example, you look at Allegri. Allegri's been praised and hailed throughout the season because he's won the big games, but I've criticized him because I'm like, you shouldn't be dropping points to a Sassuolo. You shouldn't be dropping points to a Genoa, to a Parma, to a Cremonese. You shouldn't. Those are games. You walk in, the game is done by the 60th minute. The game is done, bro. 2-0, 3-0, thank you very much. But you have to bear in mind, whenever you drop points in a small game and then you go and fight to death to win a big game, you're practically just cancelling them out. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna get 0 points out of Cremonese, but I'm gonna go and beat Inter. So let's flip it. It's like beating Cremonese and losing to Inter. My point is, win the small games. Win the small games. Bro, when it comes to the Serie A, I feel like there's only like 6 or 7 top teams. Everybody else is food, bro. Do you know what I mean? Food. You need to eat. It's food. Like, what? Lecce at home, it's food, bro. Torino at home, food. Need to calm down. My point is, you need to be winning the small games. Just win the small games. Make sure not to lose the big games. And I'll be real, you'll win the league. That's just my theory on it. Milan, of course, have to go to Rome and they have to go to Naples to play Roma and Napoli. So now that we know all of this and we've taken all of this into consideration, and we also have to take into consideration the squads, like who has the double M? What is the double M? Mentality monster. Yeah, you need mentality monsters within the camp in order to like handle the pressure of the Serie A title race. In 5th place, let's get started. I have Roma. Keep it short and sweet. I think they will be the first team to like bow out of it. Also, the fact that I am expecting, for example, Inter to beat Lecce midweek next week. And I think once that happens, you could safely say that Roma are sitting 9 points behind Inter. I think they're a good enough team. I think Gasperini has done very well this season. I think he's gotten them into the conversation of the Serie A title race, which nobody really expected. And he's done this without a striker. Are they going to get him a striker? Most likely. But is it going to be a striker that changes their fortune? Like, is it going to be a striker that's going to walk in and just bag them 10, 12, 13 goals from now till the end of the season? I don't think so. Like, I don't think Raspadori is like that potent. If it's Joshua Zirkzee, I don't think he's that potent. Yeah, they help more than a Dovbyk and an Evan Ferguson, but I just don't think they've got enough firepower to accumulate enough points to like finish top of the league or even to maybe finish higher than 3rd. Like, The teams that I have 5th and 4th, I could easily rotate them with one another. But in 5th place, I've gone for Roma. Now, in 4th place, funnily enough, I have Juve. Yeah, bit of a shock to everybody. I think, one, Juve have done a lot of damage to their season at the start of the season. Like, when it comes to Tudor, I think they dropped points in games where they shouldn't have dropped points. I think recently they've picked up a lot, but I'm going to be fair and I'm not going to let like recency bias have an impact on the way I look at them from now to the end of the season. I think Juve, for me, just go into that bracket of very inconsistent. Very, very, very inconsistent. Like, you never know what Juve is about to turn up. Now, don't get me wrong. I think against Lecce, they were great. I think against Sassuolo, they were wicked. I wouldn't be surprised if against they're playing Cremonese, they will be amazing and they will dismantle them. But I feel like when it comes to like sometimes Juve away from home, when the pressure is on, if they go 1-0 down, I think if Juve go 1-0 up, they go on to win the game. If Juve go 1-0 down, it's very difficult sometimes for them to crawl themselves back into the game. Not because they don't have the players. I don't think Juve have the mentality, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think that changing room has got the double M's. It doesn't have mentality monsters. It doesn't have players that can turn around and tell everybody, listen, no problem. We've gone 1-0 down to Lecce. Remain locked in, remain calm, remain composed, stick to the game plan, and we will get back into the game. When Juve go 1-0 down, it becomes like very erratic. The pressure gets to them. Oh my Lord, when they're playing in Turin and they go 1-0 down, everything becomes like 1,000 times more difficult. And that's because there's pressure, there's standards, there's expectations. I just look at them from now to the end of the season and I just don't think they will accumulate more points than an Inter. I don't think they'll accumulate more points than a Napoli. I don't even think they'll accumulate more points than a Milan, because I think Milan playing once a week gives them a massive boost in the second half of the season. Juve, for me, I think they will comfortably get top 4 because there's a lot of question marks around Juve, albeit I still think they need defenders. Like, regardless of how well Kelly is performing, Bremer is fully fit at the moment, but for how long? You've got the Cambiasos that need to be playing and they're not performing. The Koppiners that are playing and, in my opinion, not really performing to the £55 million level. Juve, for me, is just inconsistent. Like, I can't put them any higher than that. I don't look at Juve and say, I could see you guys winning like 4, 5, 6 games on the bounce. I just don't see it. Like, there's always going to be a banana skin around the corner. And I think in order for them to overcome that banana skin, they need some mentality within the camp. And I don't think there's many players in that camp that I look at and say, you've got the mentality to handle the pressure of being in a title race, of winning the must-win games. Do you know what I mean? So because of that, I've got Juve finishing 4th. 3rd place, I've got Napoli, funnily enough. Napoli is like a team that I just haven't been too convinced with, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, don't get me wrong, recently they've picked up a ridiculous amount of form. Besides the Hellas Verona game, I think Neres has been like their game changer. Like, funnily enough, Neres wasn't playing at the start of the season. He got brought in for about 5, 6, 7, 8 games. They were winning every game. They were looking amazing. Supercoppa, I'll be very honest, regardless of whether or not some teams wanted it, some teams were playing at full pelt, they were, without a doubt, the best team in that tournament. The way they played the game, the way they tactically set up, the fact that Conte has like completely tactically revamped them, moved away from this. I don't know who even gave him the idea to play like a 4-1-4-1 at the start of the season. He's gone back to the drawing board. He's gone back to the back 3. The only problem with Napoli, and I feel like they've shown me it throughout 18 games, they're just not, like, you never know what you're getting out of them. Like, to be fair, I can put them in the same bracket as Juve, which is very inconsistent. They'll win games where I don't expect them to win. But then they'll go and drop points in games where I'm looking at them and saying, come on, you should be beating a Torino. Like, you should be beating a Genoa. Come on. At home against Lecce, bear in mind, hardly any rotation. Like, they played their full starting 11, like their best starting 11 in terms of players that were available. And you go, 2-0 down? They're not the most consistent. And I also feel like, fair enough, some people might say, but Lukaku is coming back, KDB is coming back. I think KDB coming back is a far bigger problem than people think, because at the moment they've got the winning formula. And KDB is not going to sit on the bench and say, keep the winning formula heading in the right direction. Hell no, he's going to be like, listen, I've put pen to paper. I left Manchester City because I wasn't a starter. I've come here to be a starter, but we've already seen when KDB starts, you don't get the same McTominay. McTominay has to play out of position. Lukaku, in my opinion, he's a bit more different to somebody like Højlund. I think he's better, but Neres at the moment being injured. Napoli, I just haven't been too convinced by them. I'll be completely honest with you. Like, very inconsistent. And once again, very similar to Juve. I don't think they'll accumulate more points than Inter or Milan. Second, I have Milan. Yeah, I think on like game week 7, game week 8, I made a ridiculous shout where I predicted Milan to win the league. I think Milan will there will come a period in the second half of the season where they pick up ridiculously, and I've been banging on about this since the start of the season. One game a week, there will come a period, even if it's like 1 month, even if it's just 1 month, there will come a period where that one game a week will generate you 6 points. It will generate you 6 points. Don't get me wrong, like a prime example is, for example, yesterday night, where they had about 6-7 days rest in comparison to the Inters, to the Juves, to the Romas, and they still dropped points. With Milan, I'll be honest with you, I just feel like there's enough firepower in the tank. I don't think the brand of football is the most productive, but I feel like they've got a lot of X factor. I feel like they've got a lot of X factor within that team where, albeit Modric can create something out of nothing, Leao can score out of nothing, Pulisic can score out of nothing. I really feel like Fulkrug, if he was to start a game and he gets integrated, he brings something very different to this team. I just look at Milan and say, at the moment, there's enough firepower. Your biggest problem is also mentality, where it's like sometimes they go into games and they're like playing in first gear because they think it's going to be an easy 3 points. They go into games and if they go 1-0 down, they make it very difficult for themselves to get back into games. I feel like Allegri might change it up. Like, I know a lot of people label Allegri to be like very stubborn, very stuck in his ways. I do feel like as a coach, he's looking at these performances and thinking, maybe it's time for a change, and maybe it's time to like roll the dice, or maybe a formation change. And I personally feel like if he was to take that gamble, it would pay ridiculous dividends. I think it will pay ridiculous dividends. I think if he goes to a 4-3-3, Leao will go up, Pulisic will go a little bit more, especially if he plays him as like a roaming 10 with, I don't know, like for example, put Salamakers out wide on the right hand side and play Athakami behind him, put in like a full crook down the middle. I just look at Milan and I just feel like the reason why I have them second, there's firepower, bro. Like there are game changers in that team. There are serious game changers in that team. And I also feel like their mentality is a little bit better than some of the other teams. Like I just feel like a changing room that has the Luka Modric, it has the Mike Manians, like even Pulisic. I think Pulisic has a very good mentality for a player of his age. I just feel like they will finish second, mainly because there's going to be weeks where Napoli are playing midweek, Inter are playing midweek, Juve are playing midweek. Those performances might have an impact on them for the weekend fixture. Milan are playing just one game a week. All they have to do is worry about one game and one game only. No Coppa Italia. I think they'll accumulate enough points to finish second. I'm not saying they're going to like finish 5-10 points from third place, but I think throughout the season, they will accumulate enough points to finish second. And that takes us to first place. It's a bit crazy because it's the team that I predicted to finish fourth. First place, I have Inter. I think their recruitment was spot on in the summer. And I feel like, for example, when you look at Milan, I feel like they recruited very well, but there's still the whole question mark of why isn't Ricci playing? Why isn't Yashari playing? Like, if they were to play, how long is it going to take them to find their feet and begin to have an impact? As much as I feel like they're doing well, but like, they haven't really been integrated into the team because they're not really getting opportunities. I look at Inter and I say, in terms of transfer windows, every single player that they've signed, they've gotten something out of. They've gotten something out of Sucic. And you could see Sucic brings something very different to their midfield. They're getting something out of Boni. He brings something completely different to their attack. Esposito has been retained, brings something completely different to their attack. Akanji, I could seriously make a case he's been the best centre-back in the Serie A this season. Value for money, worth every penny, worth every cent, worth every dinar. He's worth every single penny, every single minute that was dedicated to the negotiations with Manchester City. Akanji has been worth it. He's been amazing. I think the transfer window, they've gotten it spot on. I think the fact that they've gotten rid of Arnautovic and Correa and replaced them with Esposito and Boni, 2 game changes off the bench, but at the same time, 2 players that are constantly breathing down the necks of Lautaro and Marcus Thuram in a sense of, if you don't perform, I'm coming for your chain. It's boosting Lautaro and Marcus Thuram. And I also just feel like Kivu is tactically a bit more like spot on. Like, I feel like fortune favors the brave. And for me, he's taken a lot of risks. They've paid dividends. He wins the smaller games, and I'm expecting them to continue winning the smaller games from now till the end of the season. They will accumulate enough points. There is the whole question mark of mentality within the camp, but I feel like the first half of the season has shown. Second half of the season, just don't lose the big games. Draw, win the occasional one. Just keep winning the smaller games. They still have to play Genoa again. They still have to play Torino again. They still have to play Udinese. They still have to play Lecce. They still have to play Cagliari again. They have to play Lazio. These are games that I could comfortably bet they will win. Like, I could seriously say that. And why I have them first, I can't comfortably bet Milan will win those games. I can't comfortably bet Juve would win those games. I can't comfortably bet Roma would win those games. If there's one team in the Serie A that I can comfortably bet they will win those games, it is Inter. I feel like they are the most productive team in terms of performances, in terms of statistics. They are the most productive team. They score the most goals. You can seriously make a case they probably have like one of the, if not the best attacks in the Serie A. And for that reason, I have them first. Like, I think it would be criminal of me not to have them first based off what I've seen the first half of the season and also being as fair as possible. Like, I'm always going to be fair. I'm always going to be objective. I'm going to say what I want to say. And for somebody that sat down and watched, without a doubt, maybe every single Roma game, without a doubt, every single Inter game, without a doubt, every single Juve game, without a doubt, every single Milan game, and without a doubt, the majority of Napoli's games, I think the best out of those 5 this season has been Inter. Yes, we can turn around and say, but Haj, in the big games, they lost. I'll be real. I think some of the big games that they dropped points in, I don't think they were like piss poor. I think maybe they were like a little bit unfortunate, maybe a goalkeeper mistake. But I just look at the second half of the season and say, I know you guys will win the majority of your games. I know that for a fact. I don't think I can say the same about the rest. So my top five is Inter first, second Milan, third Napoli, fourth Juve, and fifth Roma. Let's see what the reaction to this is. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Catch you on another one.